6,540 pounds. I believe this is going to be a popular critter. Apex 293R LDS here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. One of the biggest Apexes. One of the only ones with opposing slide outs, giving us a good big destination living room. But at 6,500 pounds, something that is still very half-ton towable. You might actually notice there's a truck still hooked up to it. We jump on this stuff as soon as it comes in from the factory, and it just simply hasn't been checked in, and it's not off the original delivery driver's truck yet. So this is an Asdel, couples camp, and ultralight. It gives us direct viewing entertainment. We're looking at it in the Summit Upgrade package today, and we've got a very nice outside camp kitchen and entertainment center over there on the slide. So I've got one of the two slides closed right now. The big sofa dinette, or rather recliners and dinette seating slide is closed. I have the kitchen slide open. I wanted to kind of demonstrate that with both slides closed, that kitchen slide will come right up to the counter. You cannot walk through it. So you're not going to be able to access things like your refrigerator. But if you open just this very shallow slide out, you can see it's not super deep, well, then we can get through and we can basically access every single thing in the RV. So without touching it, it's not fully travel accessible, but it's only seconds away from being that way. Now this is the type of slide system over here. It's not the type of slide system you only want to put out partially. You either want to open it all the way or close it all the way. But again, it only takes a couple seconds to do that because this is not the biggest, widest type of RV you've ever seen before. And it is always really impactful to me when you see the difference it makes with a slide open versus closed. You know, even though I had that one kitchen slide open, opening up the other side, it just dramatically lets it breathe in here. And that's really the whole point of this floor plan. This is for someone who has like a half-ton pickup or maybe one of the larger tow package SUVs like an Expedition or something, and they say, I'm going to spend some extra time in this, but I don't want to get rid of my comfortable daily driving vehicle, but I need something with space and storage when I get there. I want lighter without sacrificing build integrity, and that is just almost the definition of who Apex is here. So you'll find, like a lot of Coachmen products, whether it's the kitchen countertop or the dining table here, everything is a sealed edge pressed membrane, and those flush mount sink covers really maximize the prep space in here. And you'll always find easy reach outlets all over. We'll come back and talk about the kitchen in more detail, but that island staring me in the face, it was easy to talk about. I also want to take a step back. Look at the height of the island versus the dining table. It's like a normal residential height island. It's a normal height prep space, and that's not normal in the travel trailer business, especially lightweight trailers. So right here, you notice there's a pair of recliners directly across from the TV. Now, some people prefer recliners over theater. I know a lot of people like a theater seat directly across from the TV. The reason you're looking at a pair of recliners is because Apex doesn't use theater seats in their other floor plans. They use recliners exclusively. So it's just kind of one of those brand differences, the way that they build different things in-house. But while we're sitting here, take a look at the windows. You've got sliding breeze windows, whether it's beside the recliners, beside the sofa, beside everything, so that everybody gets good airflow here. And there are pleated shades for every one of those to block out the sun, and they're heavily tinted to block out the sun as well. Plus, there's that nighttime privacy. Now, we still get that, what I love to call the no-neck wrecker entertainment center with the TV directly across from our primary seating. But that TV's on an aggressive swing arm. If you want to make it face way over here toward the like kitchen or dining area, you can do that as well. Now, the sofa has a nice large feel about it. And one of the things I appreciate is they maintain the overhead storage above the sofa. A lot of brands will kill that to give you a larger window. And I get it, windows feel nice. But look at these extra tall windows on either side of the sofa. I think they gave us bigger windows in a different way. I also like the fact that this window overlooks our campsite. Both of these side stands have another sealed edge top. That's all they use. So like, if you have a drink sitting there and you leave it for a while and the ice starts to melt and it condensates and it sweats a little bit, no big deal. It's not going to wreck that countertop. And we've got a couples camper with great guest capacity. Now, of course, the dinette can fold down into a small sleeper, but what's cool here, this full trifold hide-a-bed can open up into an adult-sized sleeper. So you're not stuck with just having grandkids for the weekend. You can actually have adult guests for the weekend. Or what if your grandkids are just really big? I know that I was over 6 foot tall in 6th grade. You know, that happens. And most bunks wouldn't fit me at that age. And I still camped with my grandparents a time or two at that point. Right after that, it's about the time I discovered the opposite sex. And then like 6 years are a blur. And then, you know, bam, camping. As mentioned, that TV can flip around to face you. And what's cool, by surface mounting the electric space heating fireplace down here, because the RV has opposing slides, it doesn't really get in the way of anything, but it creates the perfect shelf for expanding your entertainment. What if you want to do something like, what I'll do a lot of times, I've got a little cord where I can plug my phone into the TV and I can just stream my Hulu or Amazon or Netflix or whatever right off my phone. A lot of people do that. Well, now I've got a nice little spot I can set my phone down. Or what if I have a Blu-ray player, or I bring my Nintendo Switch or something like that? I've got a place where I can set those objects down, plug them into the back of the TV, which is easy to reach because the TV swings out, and ba-bam, I'm camping, man. Well, at that point we're not camping, we're glamping and RVing, but the fact is that's the kind of stuff I'd only do on a rainy day, and frankly, I camp in a far more base level trailer than something like this beautiful Apex and Summit package. So that's kind of thing that just, none of that even applies to how I camp anyway. So, the kitchen, like the rest of the RV, very sharp modern color palette and a full sort of like a stainless appliance complement here. You see the fridge, the stovetop, vent hood, and the microwave. And the way that they offset the microwave and the stovetop vent hood is really clutch here. Because what it means is they didn't stack everything on top of one another. That created more counter space below the microwave because they had to extend the kitchen slide. Between the flush mount sink covers and that stove cover, got great prep area in the kitchen. Plus, we maintain that good kitchen breeze window. Now, there are power outlets under that microwave, by the way. Like you're looking at, say, I can't see any outlets. They're under the microwave, so it's easy to get your appliance stuff done. Not to mention the fact that you've got outlets on both sides of the island and over there in that sort of like entry bureau coffee bar. We'll take a look at that in more detail later. And there's USB plugs in a little pocket down below if you look very closely. So you've got good outlet capacity and easy reach outlets here. The other thing, and I mean, this is something that Coachmen just seems to do really well as a rule. These cats understand, well, I guess Coachmen's mascot's a dog, so these dogs understand storage. A common symptom I've seen some brands fall into when they try to make an opposing slide living room like this as small as possible is they forget the drawers. They forget to leave room for drawers. But you don't have that problem here. Because if there's one thing I think Coachmen as a rule does well, it's storage. I think every brand has that sort of thing that's a part of their DNA. For some reason, Coachmen historically has always really crushed it with storage. But it's not just over there in the slide section. The entire island gets in on the act, and I really like how they segment everything. Now, there are large doors on both sides of the island. I'm not going to try to like bait and switch you here. This one is a large pass-through compartment to get through like the rest of the island area. This first door that we'll see on the inside of the island area right here. The other side is a small little shelf compartment, but it has a full-size door. It's a little misleading to look at, but it is aesthetically pleasing to look at, so I kind of get why they did it. So we got room over here. Again, this does pass through to that door that we saw just a second ago, but this is a great spot for like your big stuff, whereas right here, we've got a dedicated built-in space for waste baskets. The Summit Edition is going to upgrade our kitchen hardware. You see that high-rise spring-loaded sprayer faucet there. You're also going to pick up doors for our dinettes so that we can get to all the storage below those without having to lift up that 5/8 plywood dinette decking, which is another thing. Even where you're not looking, Apex is very good about using a very rugged material. And that's kind of who these guys are. They're light, but they are strong. So we looked at this from a distance, but you can see down below, we've got the USB plugs down there for a handy phone charging pocket. Handy little coffee maker corner, and plenty of room up top here for things like your coffee fixins or just generic extra storage. Also, not only, remember how we talked about the seat side windows open for airflow? That is both sides of the dinette. I've only seen it once, but I've actually seen a brand only put a slide breeze window on that side because this is the window you see first when you walk into the camper. And they were hoping a lot of people would forget to look over here, I think. But you see that Apex is doing the job all the way through. Standing next to the entry door, right next to where we were basically, we find ourselves approaching the bedroom and bathroom areas. Sliding privacy door here for the bathroom, so it's always easy to access no matter which direction you're coming from. And you might have noticed how Apex does not use any heat ducts throughout their flooring in the entire RV, not just here in the bathroom, but the whole thing. We've also got a tall standing shower as opposed to a travel trailer tub. So you don't have that big travel trailer tub step-up kind of thing. Now, this corner here, it's a little boxy, it's a little intrusive, but you'll see why in a minute, and you'll be really glad they did what they did. But first, remember, sealed edge countertops. You can easily get your adult hands in there. It's just a big countertop, so it makes the sink look extra small. Now, coming up here into the bedroom, a few things to mention. Obviously, this is a Summit Edition, which is giving us that beautiful windshield in that nose cap that otherwise just would be a full front wall. This is a 60 by 80 queen. It is not a short camp queen. It's been a couple years. Apex used to use those, but they haven't for 1 or 2 seasons in their 8-foot wide models. Both sides of the bed have household and USB plugs. And not just the top of the cabinet, but they're putting an actual countertop piece right there. So again, if you set down a drink, it's not going to sweat and damage anything. And a neat little detail I really like on Apexes, the way that they inward slant the mirrored doors on those dual hanging wardrobe closets. It just draws your eyes in, and it also reflects more light off those mirrors into the RV to make it all look brighter. And that is a deceptively large, deep overhead cabinet right there. And this is where most travel trailer bedrooms stop. But remember that boxy corner we saw in the bathroom? Because of that, you know, the overhead cabinet storage that we just saw, that's where an Apex is just getting started. Because this grants us a huge additional hanging closet. If you're tall like me, you got extra long clothes or something, you're not going to have to worry about them getting all wrinkled up at the bottom. Although, I'll admit, when I'm camping, I don't care anyway. I'm camping, man. I don't care if I got a bag of dog poop in my hand and I'm wearing pajama pants in the morning walking my dog. I'm camping. I don't care what I look like. And of course, directly across from the bed, you can see that we have TV hookups and a big old blank canvas. If you want to go nuts putting a big screen on there, you absolutely can. Again, working a little ahead of the curve today. We're still on that original delivery driver truck, so pardon me as I don't whip around the front, but I think you can obviously still see that beautiful looking nose cap that we have up here in that Summit package. As we discussed inside, there are some LED accent lights on the nose that I just simply have turned off currently. Down below here, power tongue jack, because, I mean, who doesn't do that nowadays? Dual propane tanks, auto regulator, that's normal stuff. But a tongue-mounted spare tire is something I don't see utilized much outside of Coachmen's lightweight division, the Apexes and the Freedom Expresses specifically, that you find here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. That is there for a few reasons. It leaves your rear bumper open. If you want to add some accessories, you can do that. Additionally, it helps with load equalization because weight in front of the axles tows better than weight behind. This has an enclosed, heated underbelly, which means it's an extended season camper. What that means, roughly, is if it's going to dip below freezing and then come back tomorrow, you're fine. I didn't mention it inside, but we also like to put the 15,000 BTU air conditioner on these. That's another optional piece of equipment to extend your summertime camp use. You can see how we've got the sealed hinges on those doors, and again, with Summit slam latches and magnet catches. But listen, that's a metal latch, not a plastic one. Again, simple where they should be, fancy where they could be, but always built solid and effective. Black tank flush over here next to our all of our sort of sewer hookups and everything. Down below, a quick peek at the underbelly enclosure. There's not much to see there, obviously, because it is enclosed, but hey, just to let you see it for your own eyes. Seal gripping slide walls help those wiper seals really grab, plus there's interior bulb seals, and of course, we've got the really dark tinted windows here. Now, I've mentioned the word Asdel a few times. A lot of people are more familiar with that now than used to be, but maybe this is your first time watching an RV video, and if it is, welcome. Enjoy the ride. I think you're going to have a lot of fun with us here at Haylett RV, and you're going to learn quite a bit. But, Asdel, what is it? Well, in the case of an Apex or Freedom Express, it's the material directly below the fiberglass skin of the sidewalls. It's a Luan wood substitute. The material, Asdel itself, cannot rot, mold, or mildew. It is... Some people say 40, some people say 60, so I split the difference. It weighs about half as much as Luan. And it's the reason why with dual opposing slides, these Apexes, well, it's one of the reasons rather, that these Apexes really kind of rival the weight of a one-slide conventional camper. You know, you're picking up a whole extra slide without adding a whole lot of extra weight to it. There's some other tertiary benefits to it. We can get more involved in that. We've done separate videos on that, or you could give our team here at Haylett RV a call. We are all factory trained. We're very local, close to where these things are built, which is one of our biggest advantages, I think, that whenever we get a new person, we just send them down on a whole series of factory tours to really help them understand what it is they're selling every day, instead of looking at you and saying, boy, ain't it pretty, and look at that price. Quick note, we're backup camera prepped. And I specifically wanted to take a second to open the awning up over here, because it does run over the slide, and that does freak some people out until they see that there is, in fact, plenty of patio space left over here. They really executed this very well, because it's only a shallow kitchen slide. Like, that slide's only like 1 foot deep, but the awning's like 8 foot deep. It doesn't stop you from like putting a patio table or something over here. And their outside kitchenette is arranged really well. The trick is, when an outside kitchenette is in a slide like this, it's really hard to put a sink in it because the sink sits up so high. So they kind of did something smart here. They moved the outside shower over here next to the camp kitchen, and what that allows you to do is like maybe have a little table here, a little bowl, like a little wash basin. It is something that we used to do a lot when I was a kid growing up. Some campgrounds really don't like it if any sort of water, you know, gray water ever dribbles onto the ground. I totally get that. You need to just kind of be smart about where and how you camp, but the fact is, it's really neat how they put this together, and it can be a full function camp kitchen. It has that Coleman camp grill that it's a high output grill, so you know, a simple small wind won't blow the flame out on that. It's very flame resistant. Plus, it's fully free floating. If you don't want it over here in the camp kitchen, it doesn't have to be over here in the camp kitchen. You could take it wherever and still utilize that chunk of counter space there. We got Dad's medicine cabinet for the barley pop and the bottled water, but very much like the 287 BHSS outside camp kitchen bunkhouse Apex, we've got a full outside entertainment arrangement going on in here. So you have inside and outside TV setups going on all at the same time. Now, in years past, they had blue outside LED accent lighting. They've, you know, you can see how up here they've transitioned over to white, so that's not going to be a thing anymore. The triple entry step is kind of a symptom of this being a bigger, heavier floor plan with dual opposing slides. They did need to put it on a larger chassis, similar to its sister, like a Freedom Express. But again, there's plenty of good patio space here under that awning. And what's kind of nice is, since everything is all under the awning, you can get back and forth from the door to the camp kitchen and never be exposed to like common, you know, general light rains or something like that. We still have the large pass-through compartment up front, this being a Summit edition. Of course, we have the magnet latches and the slam, or the magnet holdbacks and the slam latches, rather. Simple side mount solar prep, so if you're going to do a little bit of off-grid camping, you can help keep those batteries up and running. A very generous pass-through compartment. You can see how it's not just an aluminum body skeleton, but actually even an aluminum skeleton in that pass-through, just to kind of really complete the look and the feel. There's nothing wrong with the wood skeleton pass-through. I just think that people like to see aluminum all the way around. And there you have it. A lot of good stuff going on this one. It feels a great combination of a big opposing slide living space as something that is lighter, and because they're simple where they could be, or pardon me, should be, and fancy where they could be, it's never going to be an over-the-top budget kind of camper. So it's something that a lot of people who didn't think they could get an opposing slide laminated Asdel type trailer, you're going to be surprised at what this Apex can do for you. You know, the handy little touches like the motion sense lighting and the little accents here and there, and that just great looking windshield with the Summit Edition sets this right over the top for me. It's a high value, smart money lightweight. If that sounds good, give us a call. We do hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, RV delivery, and everything in between. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.